So I explained this to him. Now, he's already gone through my wallet. He sees I got $500 in cash on my wallet. I told him that I had money. He finds the gun underneath my seat. He decides that he's going to place me into custody. So he puts me in the back of his police car, handcuffs me. Now I'm sitting in the back of the police car while he's continuing to go through my car. So now this officer goes through my car, and he notices that I had ammo for a 30-06 in there. I had ammo for a 12-gauge shotgun and brand new ammo for a 357. All which guns I'm legally allowed to possess. I'm allowed to possess a long rifle due to the fact that I don't have to register the long rifle. Just as long as I'm able to carry a gun, I could carry a long rifle, which would be 30-06 or a 12-gauge rifle, anything in that matter. And I have rounds for, I also have a registered blue steel 357 38 caliber Taurus revolver that I have with me as well. But at that point in time, that was not in my car. The only gun that was in my car at that point in time would have been, at least inside the driver's compartment of my car, would have been my Glock, which was underneath my seat at that time. Normally it would be in the garage, but since I pushed the car out of the garage, I mean, it was outside in the driveway, which is still on my property. Well, what ends up happening is the officer has me sitting in the back of the car. He calls for backup now all of a sudden. So now backup arrives onto the scene, and now they decide that they're going to pop my trunk to my vehicle and they're going to go into the trunk of my car. Which unbeknownst to me, I don't understand why they're going into my car. Oh, and let me just back up just a little bit. Before they go into my car, the officer went into my, also found inside my car what he called nunchucks. Now, I thought it was funny. I'm not Bruce Lee. I'm not Chuck Norris. I don't run around carrying nunchucks, but I do have a baton, which I carry. I have a license to carry a baton while I'm on duty working as an armed security officer. And at that point in time, I was doing my recovery process, so I had a stick that I use to actually hit my heavy bag, which I have residing at my father's house, which actually, you know, the more that I was hitting on the heavy bag, it actually made the stick break. So I had put the stick together. I tied a string in between the stick to make sure it could kind of simulate my expandable baton, which I carry, as I hit the heavy bag and, you know, simulate practicing on hitting my heavy bag. Well, what ended up, the officer's interpretation of the stick was, oh, this is nunchucks. Now, when he said nunchucks, I was like, there's no nunchucks in my car. And so, you know, after I got arrested and saw some of the pictures, I was like, where are the nunchucks at? And they point at the baton, the practice baton, and I'm like, that's not nunchucks, that's a baton. So that's another thing that they're trying to charge me for, saying that they're trying to give me a felony charge for nunchucks. So, you know, everybody out there, if you're in California, if you have two sticks with a string in between them, you're liable to get charged with having nunchucks, you know what I'm saying, if you get the wrong officer messing with you. But now let's go further onto the trunk now. Now, while the officer's in the trunk of my vehicle, they find that I have a Mini 14 in the back of the trunk, which is a Ruger Ranch Rival Mini 14, which to my knowledge is legit in California. Now, come to find out that on a technicality, in California you can't have a flash suppressor tip on that gun, which was something new that I had just gotten into my arsenal of weapons, basically. And the Ranch Rifle Mini 14, as far as I knew, I was assuming that it came the way it was when I bought it, or right when it was given to me, basically. So when it was purchased, I assumed that, you know, however it was set up, it didn't look any different to me. This is one of the first guns that I've dealt with in that matter, in that basically caliber of a gun. It's a .223 caliber. So what ends up happening is they tell me that that gun has a flash suppressor on it, and that's not legal in California. I mean, worst case scenario, you know, just because the vehicle is, just because the flash suppressor, it makes that now an assault weapon, and not an assault rifle, but an assault weapon, due to the fact that it can carry a clip, and it had a flash suppressor tip on it, which is kind of stupid, but you know, that's the situation. So I admit, yeah, that's, you know, fair enough that, okay, if I understand you guys saying that that gun's not legit and you're trying to say that it's an assault weapon or whatever. Okay, fair enough. But I'm being personally assaulted by the officer by basically doing what he did, by basically telling me that I don't look like I live in this neighborhood. He's violating my rights by searching my property on my own residence. Basically, he decides that he can search my property without my authority. Basically, I gave him no permission to go into my locked vehicle at all, but he does it anyway. Now, in the process of going through my bag, or going through my trunk of my car, Not only did he find the Mini 14, but I had a jar with my medical marijuana, which my car registers me to carry. I can have, I believe it's a quarter pound, and at that point in time, I only had 100 grams inside of a jar altogether. Nothing's bagged up and nothing's sacked up for sale or nothing like that. And now they're attempting to say that, you know, basically now that he's arrested me and he's trying to come together with some charges and basically say that now I'm drug dealing now. Okay? Even though I have legitimate cards and everything, the reason that prompted him to look at my car was, you know, for him seeing that I did have that card. And so once he's going through my car, and you know, he had my alarm going off on my car because in order to get into my car, he actually had to reach into my window, which was down, take my car keys off my seat. He set my alarm off. My alarm was going off. Everybody in the neighborhood heard the alarm, and that's where I was able to get a certain amount of people to actually see what happened and actually be able to give their own opinions on what they saw. As my alarm was going off, the officers, you know, coming to me trying to get my alarm to go off of my vehicle. Of course, you know, while I'm sitting in the back of the police car, you know, my perspective is, why should I give you, you know, the means to be able to turn my alarm off on my car when you're going through my car illegally? But I kind of got annoyed that my car alarm was going off and he keep asking me questions, so I decided it would be in my best interest. Here, I told him how to get my alarm off, and he got my alarm off. And then that's when he proceeded to search my vehicle, to be truthfully honest. So, going back to the point where he's in my trunk, he found some little pills that he thought was ecstasy pills, which I told him at that point in time, this is not ecstasy pills, and come to find out through the court proceedings, they tested it and found out that it's not ecstasy. So he tried to charge me with, you know, basically in his interpretation, because he sees, you know, some pills that he decides, oh, that's got to be ecstasy. He's black, he's got ecstasy, right? He's selling drugs. Well, they found out that was wrong. So now this ends up landing me in jail in Yolo County. So they take me to, since I got arrested in West Sac, that's part of Yolo County, so instead of going to downtown Sacramento County Jail, I go to Yolo County Jail, which is my first time ever even going there. So I end up in Yolo County jail cell, and I'm assuming that, okay, well, by the time I go to court, I'll get OR'd, I have no record, everything should be fine. We go to court, I have a court proceeding, and, you know, they're waiting on my release. They're waiting to do my OR hearing, or whatever they call it. And so I decided that to save me some money, because my bail at that time, with everything that they were trying to charge me for, came up to $60,000, and of course I would have to pay at least $6,000 of that to even bail out. So I ended up waiting. I said, you know what, I need this money at the time. Right about now, the only way that I have been making money is through I put my music online, which, you know, online sales aren't, you know, the super highest profitable thing for an independent music company. And then I have my music for sale online, and then I also have music in all the Dimple record stores throughout Sacramento. I've actually have them on consignment at Dimple Records, so if you go through the website at ispmusic.biz, you can kind of see some of the albums that I have, and all the albums that you see on there, except for the mix CD, which is Jackin' for Beats, you'll be able to find in your local Dimple record store within the Sacramento area. This is just something that I do. I do my own production, I do my own mastering, and I get all the CDs ready and store ready, basically. I do the graphics and everything. This is just something that I do nowadays. Technology allows me the opportunity to be able to do that, and I've been kind of doing this since about 2000. I've been a registered ASCAP member since 2000.